Hey guys, I just have a little guessing game for you. Okay, let's try really hard. So, which one is real? Somebody who is in a loving community that uplifts young artists, helps others, has done no wrong, said no racial slurs, or a random ass 15-year-old draws their OC with map pride colors. It's the latter. I am on my phone, so the quality of this might be really bad, so sorry about that. This is my first ever commentary YouTube video. Wow! Today I will be covering the junidrawz situation because I am not an atrocious asshole, so it should be easy. Oh my golly gosh, here's the take. Okay, so first of all, junidrawz and Yummy drawing weird art of their OCs and Sonas and SS uniforms. SS is a Nazi party, and they are, I believe, were higher-ups to regular Nazis, at least from what I know. My first opinion on this was pure disgust. Why would you draw your Sona as a terrible person, or terrible people who ran or participated at all in the Nazi party? You just don't. But I put some thought into it, and I believe that this is still disgusting, but not mindless behavior. Junie definitely knew what they were doing, and was very uncomfortable with it. Hence the "I'm going to kill myself" right next to the character. If I find a picture of the drawing, I'll display it. It's not always black and white here. Junie was obviously being manipulated and not in a good headspace. These things are not excuses for these behaviors, but they still give logic and sense into why somebody would do this. I feel like the main thing I have seen people saying about this is that this is hypocritical, and also Junie is like Jewish, so that's just really weird. And I agree, this is like awfully weird. Like, it's hypocritical. I mean, I feel like hypocriticalness isn't really the worst offense ever. It's kind of not nice, but it's not like the worst thing ever. But it's also like, Junie, you have surviving family members, or at least from what I could gather from your videos, that are literal survivors of the Holocaust. Why would you? What if they found out? I just feel like that's so ridiculous.
Also, I'd like to mention that I am German, and my heritage is German, and I very much have Nazi heritage, so I can't really speak too long on this, so just don't get mad at me, okay?
Anyways, the other thing too is the doxing thing. Sorry, oh my god, this is so unscripted. I feel like the doxing thing is especially not good. You can't dox somebody. Like, I'm sorry, that is like just disgusting. You cannot dox people. You cannot share personal information. It's just like not. No, I feel like that's why, like, Junie, you can't dox people, boo. You can't dox people. Also, the age thing and the grooming thing. Junie is an old teenager. Junie is literally going to be 18 in probably a year or two. I think that's what it was. So Junie, yes, you're not mature immediately after being 17, 16, whatever, but you are still more mature than a 13-year-old, and these arguments are definitely something that shows how you comprehend and how you manipulate people. I'm glad that you are not doing much worse things than just self-harm bait and age bait and shit, or not age bait. I don't know what the right term is, but I'm glad you're not saying much more extreme things, but I'm also irritated that you would say these things knowing that you are definitely old enough. And if you're old enough to tell people that you can not do these things because you're so young, then you're old enough to just not do them. Okay, also the grooming thing. If you don't know, grooming is when you kind of like manipulate somebody into getting something out of them. It doesn't always have to be sexual, but usually it is sexual. So Junie claims that this person named Dippy groomed them. I don't think Dippy has any platform. I looked their name up several times. I couldn't find anything. So, first of all, that's a red flag. There's no platform. Second of all, yes, grooming can happen under like very small age gaps, but no, I'm sorry, man. Like, Dippy is barely a year older than you guys. You cannot be saying that Dippy groomed you. And obviously, it's the contents of what happened that constitutes grooming. But, you know, there's no substance to this. There's no substance to these claims. Nobody had pictures of you, Junie. Nobody coerced you. Nobody did any of these things that you claim they did. So, like, where are you getting this from? Like, okay, the pictures of Junie naked is very disgusting. I genuinely think the people who threaten this over Junie are so disgusting. And I think people who are yelling at Junie for being extremely worried about this are just jerks, because somebody like threatened Junie that they were going to send pictures of their underage bodies to predators. Of course, Junie would be scared. So, but anyways, back to the original topic. I don't think Dippy groomed this person. Like, I don't think Dippy groomed Junie or Yummy. And if Dippy did groom Junie or Yummy, Junie and Yummy should not be dating. Like, this is just going to turn into something where you're bonded over your trauma, and you're not actually going to stay with this person anymore because of your love for them. You're just gonna stay because they experience the same thing, and, you know, at least that's what it seems like it's going to happen to me. Because I know that happens, and I've seen that happen to my friends, and it's just not a good thing. Okay, it's not a good situation to be in. You should not be dating somebody who you got traumatized with, at least in my opinion. Sorry if I, like, didn't cover something or anything. I have, like, really bad amnesia. So I don't remember things a lot, but, like, that's all I can remember. I'm gonna try to find pictures of what happened, etc. So thank you for watching. I think I'm gonna go now. Bye.